This is a poem called Pity. Again, I suppose it's part of the same concern. I've been interested more and more in those creatures in principally classical mythology, but not just, Indian also, which are part human and part beast. Pity. Pity we killed all the monsters. It might have been a help to ask a sphinx or a centaur, a siren, a deep-sea triton, or some such cross between our miserable species and another, what it feels like. Too late now. Goodbye, creation. We are all going to die. Our tinnitus is in the 5 oceans, the air spasms with our constant jabber, our shit trails eternally in icy space. But here we are, still ignorant beyond our broken fingernails. All's in the sights of the camera and the gun, but we've no neighbourhood, no conversation. Dying from the centre, if we still had a rind of green men, aerials, mermaids, beings that passed through into knowledge of some other kind, we might not be killing and dying quite so fast. We seed our hard selves over the countryside. Don't play with us. All who did have died. I'll read 9 Fathom Deep, which is the title poem of this collection. On the cover of the book is an engraving by Gustave Doré of one of several that he made of Coleridge's Ancient Mariner poem. And there was an exhibition of these engravings, and if you look carefully at the one there, you can see under the seabed, under the sea surface, on the seabed, various things, and there's a couple. A man and a woman are lying there, apparently asleep, or more asleep than drowned. Crouched where they are on the seabed, they feel no colder for the draught of the ship and the glacial spirit passing over them. Lucky you, say the living dead, to have got into the harbour of one another's arms, not having lodged behind your lids the rotting sea, the dead hands working, nor conceived remorse, the canker. Love, luckier still, we shall imagine this pair 9 fathom deep are dreaming one dream. The hooves of nightmare are battering round and round in their encircled hearts. But they wake, they open, and the crime dissolves. No one needs shriving. Nobody must trudge through the frontiers of a sickened world, spouting horrors. But by these lovers waking, the good ship sets her sails, the ice opens, and ahead goes the white bird, friendly and clever, and is the self-same bird we every morning called, and it came, and showed us more than we deserved, what grace is like, wheeling on wings, very near, very high, very near again. Oh, on the strength of this, the man and woman waking, and their astonished eyes viewing a clean ship whispering down the arcades of ice, with a kick will freshen the sea, unharm the inhabited earth, and surface like flyers in a rush of bubbles. And every man jack of us will imagine children at home he will go down on his knees to and be level with, and into whose wide eyes and open mouths he will tell tales as true and nourishing as loaves and fishes. There's this poem called Seaweeds, and I've become interested in it again in the idea of paradigm shift, the shift out of what's been called the Cartesian, Newtonian notion of the world we inhabit as essentially a machine, governed, ruled and understandable as mechanics. And in this poem, Seaweeds, watching the way seaweed behaves, if you like, when the tide comes in again, if it is indeed mechanics, that is to say, mathematically calculable forces which cause it to behave like that, then those mechanics are so far beyond my grasp as to allow me to think of these seaweeds as feeling in a way that we do. The seaweeds that had flopped and lain dejectedly under the sun are lifted now, and stretching in and on salt water have again, through and in between, well-beings all their own. That wrack's a good example, how it spreads its nubbled fronds and plays over the surface to and fro, fingeringly, as the breeze and the in and out of ripples please. Only mechanics, I suppose. However, since the maths applied in that caressing hand exceed my head by far, I am content to watch a sentient thing allowed to feel again, and for a tide to revel in its element.